Okay, let's do this thing. Alright, so we're gonna start by testing the music in Indivisible 2. Yay! I love doing that. Music tests are fun. Yeah. This is probably gonna be way louder because that was actually Winamp being turned down. There is no way to up the mic volume, okay? There isn't. I mean, I can multiply it by things, but then if I like lean over it, you'll die. Alright, look. I'll do this, and then it'll be super freaking loud.
Rody, wait!
And there's no music, because I commented in the no music, because I'm clever. Yeah. I mean, I could up my volume. That counts, right? Alright, so let's compare this, because I have dev keys, so let's just go over here. How does this compare to my voice? Probably pretty freaking loud. Yes? That's not a music setting. Haha. Let's do 60 each. How's this? Is this moderate? Should I turn it down a little bit more? No sympathy at all. Alright, I'm not going to be able to hear this at all, but that's fine. How about that? Is this about right? If you think this is right, let's... Yeah, because remember, it gets louder than it was. What game is this? This is Indivisible, the prototype for the thing that we're making. Alright, if you think this is good while I'm crouching around, say this is good while I'm crouching around, and then we will be done with the setup. Yeah? Hey, Colin. I can make the stream chat smaller, and then I'll be able to see things. Yeah. Alright. I can turn it down one more. There we go. That is one more 10%. Okay, so. Good while crouching. Alright. So here we go, without any further ado, because that was a decent amount of ado to start with. This is going to be a 100% run. Actually, you know what? Should I do a Zen Run first? Because I really enjoy the Zen Run.
Rody, wait!
I'll do both. Why not? Let's start with a Zen Run, because those are pretty short. And because Render has a flat tire, so I don't know when he's actually going to get here, because I think he has to buy a whole new set of tires. Alright, so for those of you who are curious, this is a Zen Run, which basically means don't kill anything. I really enjoy this, and it is also quite a bit shorter than the 100%, so I'm going to do this first. Asking questions while I'm doing this is probably not going to get you very far, because I'm playing the game. And I can only sort of see the stream chat, so... Whoops. Alright. Dang it. Nuts. Wrong guy. So the aim is to hit the guy on the... Wow, that actually worked out really nicely. The aim is to hit the op on the right side so that the battle starts facing the other way, so that when you run away, you're on the other side, but I didn't do that. I always enjoy dodging that guy. Whoops. Now the hard part. Oh yeah, and I forgot to turn tutorials off again. Go me. There it is. Now I'm gonna get killed, or not get killed, but it'll reset my run timer. OBS still thinks it's going, so... I'll answer questions after this run, I guess, because people, I'm sure, are asking them as it is. Oh, you fixed it, Render, you're the best. Alright, so Rodney features in the... Rodney is this purple guy here. Rodney features in the low percent, the Zen Run, because you gotta use him to actually accomplish the run. So let's see if I can do it. Did not get it. Yep. Totally screwed that up. I should have let him come closer. And now I'm gonna die. That's fine. Also, do note that these are all being played on keyboard because streaming and stuff. And being out of USB ports. Let me do that less bad. Yeah, so sorry if you had questions or said things. I'll totally look at the stream chat after this is over. Hello, Colin and Kit. I miss you both. Too far. Yo, over this way. There we go. I'm just gonna do it the way I'm used to. Not have enough life now. I guess we'll see. Oh, well, I definitely don't have enough now. I haven't done that in a while. If people are saying 1.5 million for a game seems kind of scammy, you can point them to my... Oh, that sucks. That was the wrong way to do this. Let's get one of you guys out of here. Alright, Rodney's a loner. You can point them to my rant that is, by now, I'm sure, up on YouTube somewhere. Let's run away before he gets here! No! Yay! Oh, this is going very poorly. Sorry, everybody. I should have just redid this. Alright, only one of you, thank you. No, that's two of you. Why is that two of you? It won't be two of you when I go back over there. Ha ha ha. I control the world. I control your desires, which are to bite me or to lick me, depending on how mean you are as an enemy. screw this up less. That sort of counts as screwing it up less, provided I don't get killed. Alright, well I'm totally gonna take the death, because I don't have enough life not to. So let's take it. Alright, better try. Yep, that counts as winning because they didn't die and I didn't, or I didn't die and I didn't run. Alright, there we go. Let's not screw this up this time. Don't mind the people yelling in the hallway. Alright, and we did it. If you're curious about how that works, I'll answer some questions before I do the serious run. Alright. So, anyone have questions? Now that I'm actually looking at the stream chat, before we do the 100% one. It is totally possible. It is pretty easy actually. So I can actually, I'll show you why that works. Oh, hello Kurai, you're asking long questions again. Sorry, I was going to show a thing real fast. So, how that works, look at these dev tools. Alright, so, this is my point for the character right here. See that? When I get knocked down, I'll go do this again real fast so that I can show you what I'm talking about. Whoops, I don't have X. Now I have X. Alright. What made you want to make a turn-based RPG in the year 2015? There are other turn-based RPGs? Okay, so, if I get knocked down, one of these guys is gonna bite me, right? Yeah, look at that. Oh, and I have frame by frame and everything. Okay, see when she lands? See when she lands? Her point actually moves around, so if I quit the fight right fast and get bitten again, see like that, she falls backwards. And then her point moves around when she lands. That's enough to get you into the boss's trigger area and allow the boss to trigger itself without you already being in a fight with it. And because it wasn't in the fight when you started, it is marked as being ignored. So, okay. I guess I can leave this here for a second. Alright, and I'm gonna scroll around because I love scrolling around. It's the fun. Colin and Kit, do you have any questions? Is it possible to run from the boss after the fight is started? No, it is not. As soon as you're in a fight with a boss, you cannot run anymore. If you think 1.5 million is too much, then you have been basically brainwashed by Bloodstained and Ukulele and stuff. Well, Ukulele not so much, but because they had most of their funding already and only asked for a smaller amount. If you look at triple, quadruple A titles, then you have things like Destiny that cost 140 million. I've already gone through this a lot. I don't have to get through this again. No. The only reason that the boss won't come into the fight is that it was marked as ignored fights for the statue portion, and the fight started while it was still a statue. Other enemies will totally join fights if they show up while you are already in a fight. How do lining up attacks work in a 3D plane with hitboxes? All the hitboxes have width. So, like, Ajna's axe attack is pretty wide and Razmi's up is very wide, so they will... I mean, they have Z, just like instead of defining a box in 2D, you define a box in 3D. Is this a different version than the public prototype? This is the public prototype, but it's the dev build, which means I have keys that'll let me, like, teleport around and stuff. I'm not going to use them for the run, but making a build that is the public prototype and running it is takes time, so yeah. Alright, I guess let's do... wait, no, there was some more stuff people said up there. I clicked on the thing and now it's all blue. Dabba-dee. It's hard to keep all this crud here. Alright, so we're going to do 100%, which means all of the secrets, which means that after this, the secrets will be public and you can talk about them to everybody. I'm also probably going to get killed, so I guess let's go. Remember, this is a prototype, so the I mean, there are things in this that are not how the full game will work.
Rhodey, wait!
Sorry, I got used to doing Zen runs. I forgot you actually want to fight people. Oh yeah, if you don't want to see the 100% and you don't want to see all the secrets, you probably should leave. Also, everybody, yeah, spoiler alert. I mean, there aren't spoilers, like, yet, because the regular part is a regular playthrough. But you would probably want to leave after I beat the boss if you don't want to spoil anything for yourself. Also, everybody thinks Ajna's down attack is useless, but it is actually her most useful attack, because it does the same damage as standing, but it recovers 25% faster. This is not a demo, it is a prototype. There is a big difference between a demo and a prototype. A demo is a small section of an already finished game. A prototype is not a finished game yet. So this is just a thing that shows that we can actually do the stuff that we really want, like a battle system in the world, and having an actual action-based battle system that isn't strictly turns and all that. Oh yeah, and I forgot to turn the tutorials off, so you all get to see the tutorials the entire time. Because I always forget to turn the tutorials off.
Check this out.
Oh, I missed. There we go.
Check this out. Stay back.
Yeah, so this totally isn't turn-based. I can go whenever I have an action available. The enemy can go whenever they have an action available. It's not you, me. Whoops. Wow, this is going to be a great one right here. Alright, so like I said, this is normal play, so no spoilers till after the boss. Whoops.
Let me show you how it's done, young.
Hello, Tungar. actually have to fight these guys, but... So, should we count 100% as killing everything, or should we only count it as doing all the secrets? Because there actually is no everything you can kill. I mean, I guess it would include, like, the little gold guy. Right? It probably would include the gold guy. I can sort of see the stream chat, so...
What do you want?
Yeah, I don't actually have to go over here, but I'm gonna. Whoops. I'm gonna talk while I'm playing. Oh, I am the best. Truly the best. Wow, I missed that both times. I'm a little sad. At least I got that bit. Yeah, I guess I can fight the gold guy, why not? Alright. So anyway, so like Ajna's down attack is not wide, but her standing attack is wide, so it'll hit multiple people. That one's a horizontal shot, so that one will hit multiple people also. Razmi's up attack hits everybody everywhere. Even if you target something on the bottom, it'll hit people on the top. Then you have supers. See, like, the end of that is a wide hit, the beginning of it isn't. Dang, should have done up. Oh, that wasn't enough. I'm sad. Wow, that was really awful. I wanted to do that.
Not
Hey, it's a bot. Hello, bot. Somebody want to ban that bot? Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed again. Yeah, and like Tungar's up is very, very big, but won't hit everybody everywhere. If you target somebody on the bottom, it won't hit somebody on the top, for example. Also, it doesn't build anywhere near as much meter as his other attacks. And boy, it's hard to talk and play at the same time. Oh, come on. See, like, Razmi's will hit both people even if you target someone on the top. That's the only attack in the game that'll do that right now. Can you get more mic volume? No, you can't. It's already at like 20 multiply. If I make it like 40, then it'll be super loud. I guess that's not 20, but still. What if I do 20? This is gonna be like the loudest thing you ever heard in your whole life right now. Alright, how's that? Dope. This will be the group attack tutorial because he's the first character in the game that hits everybody. So each attack that you do does different amounts of damage and has a different recovery speed for the next bar. But there is intentionally built in a thing that you can do that feels like gaming the system but totally isn't. Which is like I did with sorry, I'm not paying much attention to the actual fight. So if whenever you do an attack, it cuts off half of whatever your next fill is. So like if you look at Zebe, if I do an attack with like 95%, then he goes down to 50 because he loses half of his partially built bar. So you can actually use that to lower the slowdown that you get from supers or up attacks or whatever. I'm actually not going to kill you guys because you're cute. Too many. Not enough. so like I said, Tungaras can hit everybody. Razmi's super is heal. Ajna's bare hand super is also heal. I don't really want to die, so I'm gonna heal. But if you wait until she has somewhat of a partial charge for her next level, it means that you wait less time after supering. I hope that made sense. I hope you can hear me. I hope a lot of things. I hope this game gets funded. Whoops, what's going on? I disagree that 100% should include killing everybody because there are enemies that respawn infinitely, but I do agree that it should include killing all the big enemies, so I'm gonna do that. Nope. So the more people you block with, the more expensive it is for you to block each frame. So it is a better idea to block with only the characters that you actually need to block with at a given time, so it helps to notice like which character he's actually targeting. I'm not, it's difficult to look at the stream chat, so are the prototype voices final? No. Is the prototype anything final? No. I didn't make it, dang. Alright, so another thing that we tried to show off without any text is that once you have the axe, the lower level mooks, you don't enter battle if you do more than 40% damage to an enemy. So you can whack them around in the world without having to fight them, which is kind of neat. And obviously if you got better weapons later, that would apply to those too. Yeah, so I want to kill all these guys as fast as I can because then they deal less damage to me. And the yellow guy has a lot of health, and the purple guys have somewhat health. Somewhat? They have a decent amount of health. Man, I am actually kind of confused as to how Let's Players do this. Because it's kind of hard to commentate your own play. I guess when you're like really good at something, it's easier. There we go, that's what I was waiting for. Alright, I guess I have to fix that. Yes, I actually knew that camera glitch happened. But it's nice to know for fixing it. To have it recorded on stream so that people will remind me. No, I don't think I qualify as really good at this yet. I'm sure there are people that are better, and I actually don't have to fight those guys at all. Because I am guessing that 100% would include killing this guy, even though you can skip him, as I did in the Zen Run, and I think it is actually possible when he's in his original position. Sorry, I'm trying to see whether it is actually possible. Yeah, when he's in his original position, I'm pretty sure it's possible to actually wall jump over him, but we're not going to do that, so I don't know why I was running there actually. Alright, let's not get killed. Not getting killed is a nice thing. I see someone asking about an art contest. Yes, we are going to do contests. I personally want to do a speedrun contest. We need to work out some of the rules for that first, but we will have more info for you shortly, I'm sure. And I was hoping to like do better at this so that I wouldn't be healing and I would actually be doing other supers, but that is more difficult when you're also talking. Alright, and we have arrived. Hello. No enemy to help me out this time. Alright. I'll attack first so that I can give myself some meter to block his first attack, because you can't block without meter. Whoops. And some of this, even though you don't have to. So for those of you who are wondering what Razmi's down attack does, look at the animation of the enemy is the best thing that I'm going to say. You don't actually have to use it, and I usually don't. Dang, too late. So again, if you wait till you're almost at full and then you use a super, you go through only half of the penalty, which I just did there to heal. Oh, this is running very poorly because I'm streaming, I guess. Sorry about that, everybody. But at least the stream's only at 30. If it was at 60, it'd be a lot worse. Yeah, that attack is designed purposefully to not be reactable. So again, I'm actually going to use an attack with Razmi so that I can super with not 2 full bars, so that you go through less penalty. But it's okay, because there isn't much strategy in this game, right? Sarah, what's her name? Yeah, and it hits both. He ain't dead yet. Oh, he ain't dead yet. That's a little sad, actually. Someone asked, why is the B something when the party is on the other side? I assume that is going to be why are the buttons switched. The answer is you can... Should have shot the boss with that, didn't. Yeah, the answer is you can change that in the options menu if you don't like it, but it makes more sense to a lot of people that were playing to do that. So we did that. I guess I should probably be worried about dying instead of the stream chat. Sorry. about the dying part. Oh, Tongar, you suck. Alright, fine.
Look out below!
I'll waste it. Yeah, so when you get better at this, blocking and all that stuff kind of becomes second nature and you don't actually end up looking at your own bars very much. But I understand that when you are starting out, it is harder to do that. And like I said, each of the attacks that you do has a different recovery rate. So like Ajna's down does slightly more damage than her neutral but recovers slightly slower. Oh yeah. So that's why I generally try not to do 3 ups with Zebe, because it actually recovers significantly slower than 2 ups and a neutral and doesn't do that much more damage. Or even 2 downs. Alright, so I beat the boss. If I go to the right here, then I beat the game. If I don't, then this starts the secret section. So if you don't want to know what the secrets are, spoilers happen now. I'm going to look at the stream chat for like 30 seconds. Alright, so all of those questions that you were asking, ask them now. This is obviously not going to be a record or anything, so I am going to take some M&Ms. Wow, that was a lot more M&Ms than I thought it was going to be. I missed a bunch of stuff. Oh man. Man! Hold on. Stop typing. Oh good, I got it to do the more messages below thing. Okay. The level 3 heal revives for Razmi only. Ajna's heal before you have the axe, or if you switch away from the axe, also revives. I'm sorry the volume is so low, but this is what we get on my setup because it's this good. I can up the microphone even more. This is probably going to be ridiculous. So I don't know how loud this is now, but I guess we can take some time to correct the volume real fast. Razmi's down attack does make that fight way easier, but it is not required by any means. Yeah, alright. Question about status effects. Oh, if you get poisoned, will it carry over to the platforming? Yes, I always liked it when games did that. You probably wouldn't cure it using an item, you would probably cure it by getting in a fight or allowing it to expire. Because, I mean, we'd probably have some of those items, but I don't know yet, because I kind of want to avoid having to do that kind of thing. But this question sort of relates to the other one that I saw. Are the incarnations also bosses? Some of them, maybe. What's the save and load system you have in mind? So, if you haven't looked at the campaign page yet, Ajna has an inner realm, which is she meditates and goes to the village inside herself. If you go there, you save. If you want to load, you come out there. It is not fast travel because she's still wherever she is in the world. But that would also be the place where you would go to, for example, heal or rest or whatever. So you don't have to trek back to the town to do that. As she gets more confident in her own abilities, she would be able to do that further and further into dungeons and give you more benefits so you don't have to trek around all the time. Why do you get diminishing returns for your meter for offensive itty moods? There are a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is that this is a prototype, so basically none of this was balanced beyond like, yeah, you can beat it. The other reason is that each super takes an attack bar, so if you use 3 supers, that cost you 3 attack bars, and slows you down and means that you start from 0. So using a level 3 can be much more efficient, and you can allow yourself to go through much less cooldown from it as a result. Didn't you want to talk about how characters were designed at some point? Yeah, but I'm doing a run first. If the campaign gets really close but doesn't make it, is it possible to extend the campaign time? Indiegogo does let you do this. I don't know whether we would. We would have to evaluate it. I actually think that I personally would be in favor of it, because since this is our shot, if we don't make it, that's it. So if we can swallow our pride and get an extra like 50k or whatever in a couple more days, that would totally be worth it to me. What does Ajna's unarmed down attack do besides be a quick poke? It does the same damage as the neutral attack, and it recovers your bar faster. So it does everything that neutral does, but better. But since everybody thinks it's useless, no one uses it. Will there be more of a penalty for holding L1 during the entire battle? Found it real easy if you did this to the boss. Well, it does take away a crap ton of meter. But we didn't want to make the prototype too super amazingly hard for everybody, so we allow you to hold L1 rather than have to press it during the enemy's turn. So if we changed it so that you had to press it, which is how it was originally, then the fight becomes a ton harder because you actually have to react still. I also didn't really mess with the penalty for it. I mean, it costs more to block with 4 characters than it does with 1, but there wasn't a huge amount of tweaking that went into any of this aside from look, it works. Do you need to find meditation spots in the platforming section to go to your inner realm? You probably do not. Initially, you probably have to be in peaceful areas, but as she gets better at maintaining her composure and concentrating, you eventually won't. You probably won't be able to do it when there are enemies nearby. I mean, Ori had a pretty good system for this, right? Where you couldn't save in the middle of danger. We would probably expand danger to be slightly bigger than Ori's was, because you could save like half a screen away from an enemy. But yeah, it'll get easier to save as you go because she'll get better at concentrating. Okay, were there any more questions? No. So, the neutral, or sorry, the down attack with bare hands has shorter hit stun than neutral. No, it's actually just strictly better. It's just people don't use it because it looks weaker. That's why it is strictly better. Would it be like that if there are difficulty options? Like what? Am I at the bottom yet? I am totally almost at the bottom. Sense of enemy presence, yes. Alright, I've caught up with the stream chat. Sorry about that, everybody. Let's go on to the secrets. So, because this is a prototype, there were 2 goals. for me for designing the secrets. One was to show you that we could actually make secrets that are not super obvious to get to. Like, I erred on the side of making everything hard for this because as a designer, it's really easy to make something easy. It is exponentially more difficult to make something difficult but not impossible or not frame perfect. So I wanted to show off the fact that we could do that rather than that we could make something super easy. So when you beat the boss, so normally she has traveling run, right? If you run for 6 steps, she auto dashes even if you didn't dash. When you beat the boss, if you dash for 6 steps, then you get what we named Haruka Hustle because we needed a name for it. So this is useful, but alright, so on to the first secret. Let me try to do this at 20 frames a second. Yeah, so that's a lot harder than it looks, but I've done it a lot, so there you go. Hey, I thought Etika was gonna leave, because Etika didn't want to spoil this for themselves. Well, you're still here. Anyway, so yes, everybody says that's super difficult. That is the definition of Nintendo hard, which is it's hard until you've done it a whole bunch of times, then it's not, right? So now that you're out, you have the hustle in the real world. Oh, I killed him, I forgot. So you can run through vines, you can run through enemies, you can run through that rock, which if you didn't break the floor up there, is actually the only way for you to get out, because this floor over here was a breakable floor, so otherwise you'd have to go like all the way back through up there. Anyway, so now that you have hustle in the real world, and you can run through enemies, let's go through the secrets. I am actually going to fight these guys because Razmi and Tungar don't yet have 3 attacks. So they're normally designed for you to just run through them, but I didn't get enough attacks yet. So I'm going to do this to level up real fast. Just as a help. Alright, there are also some harder ops down here. Oh, that was poor. Oh yeah, so the thing where you get knocked up onto a platform and don't get to do anything for the rest of the fight, or it doesn't count you as part of the fight, is obviously a bug, but it's something that we didn't have time to fix and that is not easy to fix. So it is something that I didn't fix. But yeah, it's really obviously a bug, and we know about it, but that would be one of those things that'll take probably a couple of weeks to get the pathing right for. So that won't happen until we get to the full game, because yeah. Alright, so no Tungar. Thanks, Tungar. You used to be really useful. Whoops. Oh, come on, Razmi. Get your level up already. Hi, Tungar. Welcome back. There we go. Alright. So, as long as I'm explaining the design goals of everything, this right here is the first secret. This is the obvious one that everybody finds, because as soon as you get out of the boss room, you go running into things and see what happens. So this one's really obvious, so I'll let this one speak for itself. And then you find the cutest little kitty in the world, and it's there, and you don't know what to do with it, and there it is. So you want to pet it. So you very cautiously get closer. Or maybe you just kept running, your choice. Yeah, so remember, everybody thought that the prototype was as short as it was. It's not. Uh-oh, I scared it. And now it's gone. Well, luckily, since I made the game, I know where I'm going. So let's go to the next one. Whoops. Touch its butt, says Zone. Thanks a lot. Alright. So, since there have been spoilers in the stream so far, I'm going to say extreme spoilers right now. If you want to find this bit by yourself, you can. I mean, this has all been spoilers anyway. But, alright. So, for the last secret, there are actually two ways to get to this secret. I will demonstrate how the first one works, but I'm going to do it the manual dexterity way. So, this is another one of those, like, I wanted to show that we would be willing, because another thing that everybody asks is, will there be sequence breaks in this game? So I look at sequence breaks as things that require you to have a huge mastery of the game systems in order to be able to do them. Right, so if you look at the sequence breaks in Super Metroid, those all require mastery or exploits of the game systems in order to be able to accomplish those. If you look at the quote-unquote sequence breaks in Fusion or Zero Mission, where you missile the right block or you shine spark into the right wall and it lets you go somewhere that looks like, you know, between two of the zones in Fusion or between two of the areas in Zero Mission, those aren't really sequence breaks to me because they just require like exploration, and they were put there intentionally by the designers, and they're not like hard. They don't require super mastery of any of the game systems or anything. They just require items from later or whatever, or bombing and missiling the right block. Like, I don't want to do those kinds of things for sequence breaks. So when my main goal with this secret, aside from being neat, was to show that we are willing to explore the boundaries of how the game systems work and build secrets based on that. So I will show you the two boundaries for this, the two ways to get the secret. Alright, so the first one, the non-manual dexterity way, works like this. I'm just going to do it over here because bringing the op over to the platform takes a while. Or I'm just going to get hit. That's fine too. Alright, so when you are fleeing from battle, your characters are running. Which means you've taken more than 6 steps. So, like that. If you continue to hold forward after you fleed from battle, fleed? Flown? What is the past tense of flee? I guess fleed. You automatically get hustle because you were already running for more than 6 steps, and nothing says that you had to do that outside of battle. So the first way to get that secret that does not require manual dexterity is actually to bring the op over here, to stand over here, and run away from it to get hustle. The second way, so that was a happy accidental discovery that I kept, that was discovered before I designed the secret. So the reason that the secret is where it is so that you need to find one of these two things that feel like exploits in order to get to it. The manual dexterity way is actually, so the way that the hustle is implemented is the same way that Speed Booster in Super Metroid is implemented, in that you need to pass a certain frame of your animation a certain number of times, and whether or not, without leaving your run state entirely, right? So whether or not you pass those all in one run sequence is not counted on purpose to allow this one to be possible. So actually the way that you do this is, I'll do this in slow motion so that I can show you what's going on. So you see how she has startup and recovery from run? Well, those count as run. So if you tap it too fast, it doesn't work, but like that, right? If you go through that frame of a run 4 times in a row, then you get this prototype's equivalent of short charge, right? Obviously, none of that mechanic is final. Like, I don't know whether she would even have hustle in the final game. It's just a thing that we did so that we could make some secrets. But so, normally this platform isn't long enough for you to dash, right? You will totally not get hustle by doing this. So either you can bring the op over here so that you're already on this platform and you get it, or you can do the short charge version. And the last secret is over here. So that's actually a decent question from the stream chat, which is, what do you think separates cool bugs like that from lame bugs like Knuckles' infinite jumping in Sonic Boom? This allows you to do something within the parameters of the game, but slightly faster or better than the game normally allows you to do it. Infinite jumping basically allows you to go anywhere and removes most of the limits that the game placed on you. Like, I don't know, I guess they're not even really in the same league. If you weren't able to see how I did it, then I'll do it again because the stream died. So you do short charge over here, and then you go like that. Or you run from the op while you're on this platform and you go like that. Well, anyway, so we've done this. Everybody who is wonderfully entertainedly watching is wondering what is down here. So I guess I'll show you what is down here. Slowly. Alright, so this is what is down here. I am going to try to beat this in one shot, which actually means I am going to switch to bare hands, because bare hands has several advantages over axe. One of them is that Ajna's super at any level revives party members. Alright, so here we go. At low frame rate on keyboard, we're going to give this a shot. And for everybody who was saying, boy, I wish the prototype had some sort of super hard final boss so that I could actually test all of those skills that I acquired, this is it. Are you ready? You better be. So in case you're wondering, I'm not going to explain anything about this. You can figure most of it out yourself, I'm sure. So the cat has a lot of different attacks that have different timing that will make you waste your meter if you are just trying to block all the time, and is also like exponentially harder than the final boss. is the safe route with bare hands.
Heads up. Incoming.
And yes, I'm intentionally not supering it yet. Oh, I let him go too long, dang it.
Right on target. That is for all the targets.
So the things that you really have to master to be able to beat the cat are meter management and when to heal and when to super. I mean, if you want to beat it quickly, you obviously have to manage to master when to super. If you just want to beat it, you can worry less about supering and more about healing.
Check this out.
But in general, it is not easy. Thanks, Razmi.
Incoming. On point. Feel the full power of the blade. Another.
Wow, I've gotten really lucky. It hasn't done a lot of the nastier things that it can decide to do.
Check this out. I praise my entire life. Heads up. Right on target. Stay back.
So one of the nice things, oops, that was a mistake. I should have done an attack first. One of the nice things that I will point out about having worked on the prototype the way that it does work, or the way that it works now, is as soon as we added defense, I was able to make a lot of this stuff much harder. Whoops, that was not a good idea. I was able to make a lot of this stuff much harder than I normally would have been in regular RPGs, because you would have had to guess when you were going to block. Whereas in this, I basically got to balance this guy around block damage rather than around regular damage. Which was a much more interesting design experiment. Like when we added blocking, I probably should have been paying more attention than that. When we added blocking to the prototype, a lot of the existing fights became ridiculously easier than they normally would have been. So we got to go back and make everything super hard. And be a lot more like basically cavalier with how much damage things did, because manual blocking allows you to take care of your party much more efficiently than normal. I suppose I could have been doing cool combos on this guy. I'm sorry, I basically forgot. Whoops. Oh, I was talking. Like I said, you can balance him around block damage. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna do less commentary this time. Oh, and I forgot to switch off Axe. Well, this is actually going to be significantly harder than the previous one. Whoops. Yeah, so like I said, Axe does a ton more damage, but if I lose anybody, unless I can build up level 3, which generally is not a thing that happens, they're pretty much gone. I guess he could stand to super. Oh man, I am no good at that. Oh, so it has been asked many times in many places, but juggling doesn't do anything in the prototype, but it will definitely do something in the final game. Again, we didn't have a chance to do a lot of the things that will be the final battle system for the prototype. That's why it's a prototype. There we go. I was waiting for it to do that last time, because that is one where you have to block with Ajna and Razmi, and it's actually, if you block with everybody, you end up wasting a ton of meter. So it makes much more sense to actually just block with the characters that need it. I was talking again. There we go, that was better. Zebe really wants to like live, doesn't he? Oh yeah, so you'll notice I'm basically never using Tungar's up, because even though it does do more damage than his other two attacks, the recovery is significantly longer, so over the course of more than one turn, it is actually much worse to use up than it is to use a bunch of neutrals or downs. Also, you will notice that I'm being very careful not to run out of meter. Because running out of meter really sucks. I also have to pay attention. Yeah, this is like, I need meter, so I'm just going to do the things that build meter and hope that he doesn't kill me. Dope. Alright. So, I do need X for the climb, but I don't need X for the rest of it. Whoops. Yeah, let's not forget to switch this time. Also, it is actually possible to run into the cat with the run right at the beginning of the fight, which takes off the whole first life bar and saves you some time if you do a running jump, but that's kind of hard. So like I said, you can kill it faster with the axe, but you can kill it more safely with bare hands because you're not out a character if you lose a character.
Get away!
It does mean that you don't have Ajna's axe super, but that's okay because you still have Tungar and Zebe. I guess I could do her last one. Yeah, so it's not super dangerous until like 4 or 5 lives.
Right on target.
But again, remember you should super with the person who has the most bar close to full but not entirely full, because it keeps your cooldown the highest, or sorry, the lowest, whatever. I didn't actually need that. See, like Razmi now has to go through a full bar of cooldown, which sucks.
Get away!
Hey, he didn't get killed this time. Good job, Zebe.
Get away!
Sorry if I'm like not saying very much. Yeah, that's a good place to leave it.
Look out below!
worth doing. Nope.
Get away! Get away!
Come tell me.
Oh, too late.
Oh, fine. Here. Not enough.
Right on target.
Oh yeah, so in the last phase, basically every attack that it has is an instant kill. Everything will do at least over half, but the swat will be an instant kill, the bite will be an instant kill. That was probably not a good idea, but I did it anyway. Good job, Tungar, you did it.
Check this out.
Crown of Pulse. Whatever.
Bye, Tungar. We loved you.
Oh, fine. Here.
Oh yeah, so another side effect of one of your party members being dead, I probably should have like revived with Ajna. Yeah, so another side effect of your party members being dead is that you actually get less meter for blocking something that hits everybody.
Look out below!
Come tell me. Not enough.
Heads up!
Yeah. All right. So, that having been all of the secrets, I mean, I guess there's this one, which isn't really much of a secret. Remember that this took 3 months to develop the entire thing, which is pretty dang fast. And
Let's go,
let's
Rosie.
scare the hell out of Roti. Ta-da! There we go. Yeah, so the cat took something like, it was one night. John helped, Rich helped with art. John did the flame, which is pretty dope. And the implementation was all me. It took something like 6 or 7 hours. So if you would like to support this level of polish in a full game, and you are not making assumptions about how everything in this is completely final, please consider contributing to the campaign so that we can actually make the full game instead of being not a company anymore. That is clear time in 1 hour and 2 minutes 41 seconds, yes. And I was actually really happy that the pressing start to open the web browser actually worked. Look at that, it opened the web browser. And we're at 370. Alright, well, that was that. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I would really like to have a speedrun contest as part of the campaign because I think the speedrun community would be very interested in attempting to do this much better than I just demonstrated that it can be done. Zone, you can probably pester me, but you have to have the latest version of OSX, and I don't think it has any other requirements. But yeah, the deal with us doing this crowdfunding is that this is the crowdfunding. This is not an interest gauge. We do not have a publisher waiting to swoop us up afterwards or even during the campaign if it looks like it's going badly. If this is not funded, then this is it. We spent all the money we raised on Skullgirls, so that's not like sitting around in a bank somewhere. Yeah, I mean, you gotta try, right? So we're trying. So in the final game, if you would like to deal without a healer, there will be ways for you to deal without a healer. For example, Ajna's Bare Hands lets you heal a slight bit. There will probably be some type of healing items, but I would like to try to avoid people going into menus as often as possible. There is the possibility of skills like Vampire, where every hit gives you back some life. There is the possibility of just defending, giving you back some life with skills, or various other things that will help you heal that are not simply a finite amount of items that you need to keep in stock at all times. Because I as a designer kind of hate that. Like, it does two things. The first one is it artificially limits what you can do based on how many enemies you've killed, how many healing potions you could buy, or how many MP potions you could buy, and how far you can go into a hard dungeon is based on that. And the second one is, if you have a full stock of them, it makes pretty much everything trivial. So it has detriments I don't like, and it has pluses that aren't really pluses. I would like to try to make everything either skill-based or battle-based without being limited resources. So the better you are, the better you can do at the game. I mean, for example, the current world record speedrun for Paper Mario fights something like 10 times and still beats the final boss with leveling up, I think, once or maybe twice. And enemies in that game don't scale based on your level. And I mean, obviously they do some serious badge manipulation and all that stuff, but like in a lot of RPGs, it's just not possible to do that at all, right? You can't beat the final boss at level 1 unless the RPG implements the enemy scaling along with your level, which is kind of a band-aid to the problem. So I want to try to make Indivisible as much dependent on player skill as possible, rather than being dependent on simply time spent leveling up. Sorry, I was not looking at stream chat for a second. Let me page up because someone asked a question somewhere. Come on, give me the thing where it says more messages below. Yeah. Oh. Alright, so I'm just gonna say this once. If you ask if anything in the prototype is final, the answer is no. It's a prototype. It is not a demo. It is not a small slice of the final game. Nothing in this is final. Could the full game include vine blockades only passable through jumps? Well, so the other thing that I should say is, if you look at the campaign page, she has many more weapons that she's going to get. All of them will have upgrades that will help you move around in the world that are not given to you at the beginning. So for example, she wouldn't start out the game knowing wall jump for bare hands, and she definitely wouldn't know axe hang right off the bat with axe. Those are things that you would learn after you get the weapon. So there are, I'm not gonna explain them, but most of them are written down in the design doc already. There are something like at least 3 or 4 extra movement related upgrades per weapon that will eventually turn you into, you know, Samus with the gravity suit and the speed booster and the high jump and everything else. But in the prototype, we just had to kind of give you stuff that people would find fun right away so that people will find it fun. Do you have any ideas in mind for juggle benefits? Yes. The first thing to try would obviously be that the more juggle hits you do, the more meter you get for keeping the enemy in the air, and then once they hit the ground, the meter gain rate would reset to very low. So if you kept them on the ground, you'd get a normal amount of meter. If you hit them into the air, you would get more. And then that an OTG hit, while giving you basically no meter, would give you back a small part of your action bar. Probably scaling down the more times that you do it. So again, more stuff that's related to like keeping the battle faster paced rather than like popping out items or whatever from the enemy. Maybe it was 3 extra weapons. I'm sorry if I said 4, because I keep forgetting that she already has bare hands and axe. Oh, you don't have a joystick connected to your computer at all. That's actually a really good bug. Please report that, like, via something that's not Stream Chat. Will we be able to switch out our party for other members? Yes, you hella will. I mean, the basic, like, the way that I described Valkyrie profile was your party is one customizable fighting game character. So the goal for this is the same thing, right? A lot of the customization that you will be doing is switching out party members to work differently, rather than taking one party member and giving them the lightning pistol instead of the darkness pistol, right? If you want the guy with the pistol, then you use the guy with the pistol. If you want the girl with the axe, you use the girl with the axe, that kind of thing. You are stuck with Ajna because she is what makes the rest of the party viable, but, you know, that doesn't always have to be the case. Will there be special techniques learned for bare hands? Yes, there totally will be. If you go look at the things that people are like, boy, I wish this game had this, a lot of them are bare hands movements techniques. Did you mess around with the idea of the prototype having a different weapon instead of the axe? Sure. I mean, we messed around with the idea of what all of the weapons we were going to be. We chose the axe because it gives you axe climb, which is hella fun. And it also lets us show very easily that we are willing to do things with weapons that most games don't do, right? In most games, you get the axe, and it does extra damage in battle, and it also lets you chop through vines or whatever, and then that's it. That's the extent of the usefulness of the weapon. So by being able to give you axe climb, we were able to show that all of the weapons will have extra uses in movement, rather than just in allowing you to pass barriers that you couldn't, and then doing something different in battle. We had to make a lot of decisions in the prototype that were, what is the minimum amount of work? And the bow is much more work because, and also Zebe has a bow. Like, the other thing is we needed to choose weapons that allowed us to show off all of the different types of things that we could do. We needed a mage, we needed an archer, we needed a ranged guy, and we needed regular melee stuff. Like, we had to choose everything so that we could show the maximum amount of stuff with the minimum amount of overlap. The chain sickle that I never remember how to actually pronounce the Japanese name for, which is one of her other weapons, is going to be much more difficult to implement at a basic level than axe. So we also picked axe because it was one of the easier things that we could do. If equipment is a thing, I mean, equipment like you got the more powerful axe is probably a thing, but it won't be you go to the store and buy the more powerful axe and then you can beat the boss. Most of it will be plot controlled or, you know, finding items, that kind of thing. A la Super Metroid. It will probably be palette effects, but like we did Parasol's glasses and we did Parasol's stockings and we did all of the other stuff that we did in Skullgirls, so we can do quite a bit with this engine already with just palette effects. We could do different designs for the axe head as long as they're all there from the beginning. Grapple techniques for the incarnations, yeah, so that's another thing, is like more stuff that we didn't have a chance to do in the prototype. All of the enemies actually have block animations. Well, the Hungry Ghost and the Op have defense animations, but I didn't have a chance to implement any of that because that was a whole other system, and getting the AI to do them properly matters. So like magic would not necessarily be blockable, but for some of the better enemies it would be dodgeable. But like if you had a command throw, for example, if you got the enemy to start to try to block, then they would still be command throwable, and it would help you break their defense without having to go through the normal route of either hitting them a bunch of times or hitting them with an up and down attack close together, because that would be unblockable in fighting games, right? To break their defense. The ultimate goal for the full game is that as you go on, the enemies that start to learn to block would block if you drop your combo. So like if you drop your combo during the middle of your turn, then the enemy will continue to block for something like 60 frames, so that you can either try to break their block and stun them for extra time, or you screwed up and end up dealing a lot less damage. But since that would reset all of the things that would scale down over the course of your combo, like meter gain for juggles or whatever, there would be benefits to doing all the different parts of that. I mean, I come at this from a fighting game design perspective, so I look at everything in terms of like, how would this be useful if you were playing this like a fighting game? So there is totally supposed to be more of this stream, but Render had a flat tire. I guess there were 3 nails in it. So what? That's 4 nails. He got nailed pretty hard, yeah. Render gets nailed fairly often, I hear. But yeah, Render has a flat tire. I don't know where he is. I guess I can ask. That is the thing I can do. Silence while I'm... You can come over here and say hi if you want to. I would love an Oreo. I didn't actually eat anything today except M&M's. Yeah, so this was totally supposed to be me playing him in Skullgirls and me playing him in Guilty Gear, but I don't know. Wait, are this... What flavor is this? Caramel apple Oreos?
It might be stale.
They might be stale. They probably are stale.
It's from last week's animation screen.
One of these is the webcam. What in the heck? Is there a refresh? Wow, it doesn't want to find my webcam at all on this laptop. So I guess we don't get a webcam.
You can change the setting.
I mean, it doesn't want to find it as a source, like period.
Oh.
See, Game Capture HD or XSplit Broadcaster is the only choices I get.
There's no separate option just for a webcam?
No, there is not.
I don't know how this version of this.
Yes, there is not. That's all we get. If you want to get Brian's webcam, plugging that in generally works.
Is it here?
I think he took it back with him.
Oh, he didn't leave it here? Well, I guess you don't get to see faces at all.
Face to face.
From a fighting game design perspective, how do I see the luck factor in RPGs? I mean, in the prototype, there's no random damage, there is no random defense, there is no random meter gain, there is no random missing when you make contact with the person. Like, I plan to keep most of that stuff. The randomness is in what the AI is going to do. There is, I mean, that helps a lot with luck, right? If they do something that you can block, then you block it. If they do something that you don't have enough meter to block or that hits all your party members and will kill you anyway, that's one thing. But I kind of want to avoid luck mattering much. I don't know. I like that in Paper Mario that it was like luck didn't really factor in except for what they were going to do.
I enjoy it though when people do luck runs in games. I actually don't have that.
This is so stale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, though.
Yeah.
Like in Shin Megami Tensei games, doing a luck run is like the hardest thing you can do, but it does kind of work. You just get massive crits,
Mhm.
like dollar insta kills and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I appreciate your point. That's
Yeah.
probably not how I would make a game.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because if you're doing pacifist run, that's like equivalent of doing like a luck run anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't... Sorry, like, there's no webcam. Like, we don't have one here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it refuses to find my setup.
If you open up a separate program that has a webcam, so if you're doing screen capture, you show up.
The thing is, I don't think it thinks that my webcam is attached at all.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because it doesn't even recognize it as the thing.
Oh, you got
Yeah, like, if it thought it was attached,
It would have
then
been there, yeah.
OBS would find it.
you got some problems there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe webcam isn't wanting to work at all. Well, so... I don't know, is there anything else I should do? Like, I'm kind of sad I wanted to play stuff with render.
It's not related to the stream, but I could use it if you played some.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I can't do that while I stream,
Yeah.
because it already runs at like 30.
Yeah. And I want a higher resolution than stream quality anyway.
Oh, Render says he'll be here in like 10 minutes.
Oh, we can just
Sick.
talk for 10 minutes then.
Okay.
I'm up stream.
Sorry, someone said, how do you feel about super secret secrets? I mean, the stuff in the prototype is pretty super secret. Like, if we didn't tell people about it, it wouldn't be found at all.
Really? I feel like some people might have found stuff.
I mean,
It would have taken a long time.
Like, by super secret, do you mean like, there was one Game Boy puzzle game where a programmer put like a wedding proposal into it to his girlfriend,
Yeah.
but she didn't like the game, so he didn't play it for like 5 years.
How would the wedding proposal activate if only she played it
Or like, I think there was some code or something that was a secret number for them, a secret like joke code for them, like secret joke for them. And so she puts it in, then it would work. Also,
Yeah.
there's the, it's not related to this, not related to secrets, but there was that guy who hacked Chrono Trigger to be a somehow?
oh yeah.
There's that one.
I mean, like,
But that's not a secret.
the way that like, super secret secrets are generally things where it's like, do these couple of things in this very specific order, and something else happens. Like, I don't really have a problem with that, as long as it's not super missable.
Yeah,
But
the sad thing about those secrets is that someone could put like heaps of time into making it, just so that no one finds it.
yep.
Yeah.
That's
So that's like
like-
a lot of work. That's like a lot of waste of work.
Yeah, the work to reward ratio is not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of those super secrets are just like, if you do something, then some other thing is available somewhere that nothing tells you about. Like, I think those are kind of standard in RPGs, but they're also not, I don't know how to put this, like,
They're not that interesting.
they're not that interesting once you know about them, unless they're a cool thing, right? Like, the secrets that I like are, like, Star Ocean 2's Secret Dungeon. Have you played Star Ocean 2?
I've only played a little bit with the first
Oh,
one.
dude, Star Ocean 2 is so good.
I remember that you could go left at the beginning.
You can, yeah. I mean, it's a 3D map, or it's a isometric map. You can go anywhere.
Oh, maybe it was a Star Ocean 2.
No, it wasn't Star Ocean 2. There's so Star Ocean 2, the way that the hidden dungeon works is you're somewhere on the first disc, you're on a planet. Then on the second disc, you're somewhere else, and you talk like way at the end of the game. If you've done a couple of other things, you talk to someone who's like hallucinating, and that they've been there for the whole game, and you talk to them, and they're like, "I really want you to experience my hallucination," and then or like they're senile or something, and you go into it, and they're dreaming the planet from the first disc.
Oh.
Only now you have the vehicle from the second disc
Huh.
with you, so you can go to places that you couldn't get. Like, you take a ship and then you can't go back, right, on the planet. And so when you have your transport, now you can go back to the first town, and there's stuff there, and there's a hidden continent that's where the secret dungeon is.
Wow. So much
And
work.
like, it's not that much work, but it's just neat because it's like you never thought you'd actually get to go back there, and obviously it's you still imagining a thing, but you still get to go there. Like, those are the type of secrets that I really enjoy, not the ones where it's like, if you talk to the third guy from the left in the second town, and then you talk to the sixth guy in the fourth house from the seventh town, then they turn out to be brothers, and then their sister is somewhere in the world, and you go find her like in the middle of the desert that you're never ever going to go back to.
Yeah.
And then you go back to talk to the first brother, then he gives you like his brass knuckles or something. Like, those secrets are neat,
Now
but they're less interesting
Wait,
than
now
like.
you said down on stream. Someone, please write that down. We're gonna make that into a secret quest.
Oh God, okay.
Out of those brass
But
knuckles.
like for the secret dungeon, how
Hold-
many people do you think missed it?
What, the Star Ocean one?
Yeah.
Now, once one person finds it.
Well,
turn
so
it
a
down.
couple of things. First of all, I'm going to answer this guy's question. Have you considered, or person's question, you never know on the internet. Have you considered making a mock-up screen showing more of the RPG story-based sections of the game? Yes,
Yeah.
we totally have, and we are in the process of doing that.
We're gonna revamp the campaign page as much as possible.
Yeah, we're going to change as much stuff as we can in the next couple of days because we really have to do that.
Yeah, it's just taking time.
What was just said that I interrupted for this?
To how.
Oh yeah, how many people missed it? Well, so first of all, yeah, one person finds it, everybody finds it. Second of all, like, this guy is in the way, and you have talked to him several times, and if you're one of the people that goes back and talks to people, like, it's a moderately obvious place to go to talk to people.
Especially
But
if
I'm
it's-
also okay with people missing that stuff. It's that, like, there are other hints that tell you to go, like, talk to them. Like, you, in the front area of that is his, like, wife, I think, who talks about not being able to find his medication. Like, and that he's getting worse or whatever. Like, they give you hints, but it's also, like, those secrets are missable, sure, and I mean, that's the point. Like, secrets are secret. You can miss them.
Yeah.
The ones where it's like, go talk to this obscure guy and that obscure guy and then do this obscure thing, and then if you go back to this dungeon and you stand on the fourth block from the left and you wait for 5 minutes with the red crystal equipped while you're crouching, then a tornado comes and picks you up.
Yeah.
Like, those are generally not hinted and also much more difficult to find. Like, the reason that I like the Star Ocean 2 one, aside from the fact that I think that is the best secret dungeon that exists, like, I've never played another piece of post-game content that's been anywhere close to that good. They bring back joke items and make them real, like, useful items. Like, it's amazing. But the reason that I like that is that once you find that one thing, you don't have to, like, you are there now. You're back on the first disc.
Yeah.
You explore everywhere. You do everything. They have tons of secrets that are available on that first disc revisit, but you only have to find one, and then now you're somewhere else and you can go look for all the rest of them. It's not like if you talk to the two brothers and the sister, you've done the one thing, and now you have to go somewhere else and do another thing. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that I really liked the layout of the hidden stuff in Chrono Trigger also, because most of them are either events that will happen over the course of the game, or heavily clued in, or dungeons that you've already seen that you couldn't beat, like the sand dungeon where you go and kill the antlion or whatever it is, the Zombor clone, and then you talk to the person in the house who's right by the dungeon because you're going to go there because we're just there. And then Robo asks to stay, like, or reusing a location in a different time, right? Where the Red Rock goes, like, they organized it in such a way that they're all they're only secret by virtue of the plot not specifically talking about them, rather than being totally ridiculously obscurely hidden, right? And like Gaspar talks about them all. So like he tells you that there are things that you might want to go back and do. Like that's the level of secret that I'm really aiming for, although like difficulty obviously factors in, right? I want there to be platforming sections where you have to put an effort to find things. I don't want everything to be super obvious like the first secret in the prototype. So I don't know. I guess I'm against the stuff that's just like, if you randomly figure out that you can put in this 4-digit code into this door that like one person in the game tells you really early on that you're not going to remember, then cool. Like that's the stuff that I'm not really a fan of.
Yeah, for our prototype, like for the getting out of the boss room, we just had like a axe hanging from that one wall.
I don't know. Like
I mean, I can
we
see
made
why.
we made the corner really bright. Like I think that should honestly be enough.
I mean, if we,
Because we've had you hang from like 10 walls by the time you get there.
but I mean, like even just visually, like that would add to the aesthetic, having like a skeleton or something.
Oh,
hanging
yeah.
From that wall or something interesting, and unique.
Or like a little pile of bones on the floor with an axe in it. Just
Right.
not necessarily from the wall, but yeah. I mean, yeah,
That's all.
I guess it would be more of like, how much do you want to breadcrumb the people? For
Right.
the prototype, I really didn't want to because there's a limited amount of stuff that you can find, so I want people to take a while to find it.
Yeah, it brings people back to the game again, which I like a lot. I remember that day the prototype went out, people were like, "Oh, it was fun and all, but I really wish you added a secret boss or something."
Yeah, I know, it was great.
Yeah.
All the people that are like, man, I wish there was something in the prototype that was like super hard, whatever. Oh, there totally is. You just didn't look at all. Like, I think that's,
People are
I guess this is mini rant time. So I have seen so many people ask for there to be secrets in this prototype, and then so many people complain about the secrets that are in the prototype. I think people nowadays don't remember what it was like to actually find secrets.
they don't try to find
Like
something when
you,
it's on Game Pass.
yeah,
It's a
you just
YouTube
look,
video.
you just looked it up, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's this secret thing that you can do. But like, finding secrets in old games was not easy. I mean, you to find things like the Shoryuken in X2. I'm not going to use the Hadouken from X1 because that is actually
Garbage.
kind of poorly hidden. And if they didn't tell you about it, it probably wouldn't have been found for a very long time.
Is the Hadouken or the Shoryuken the one where you have to drop off a cliff, hover, and then like dash to the left, in the middle of like a
Oh, not that
corridor?
one. So that's the Shoryuken.
Okay.
The thing is, here's the deal. So the Hadouken is hidden by, you get to that area 5 times and die,
Mhm.
and then the 6th time you get there, if you have full health, the capsule is just there.
Oh, that's
Like,
okay.
that's not how you hide a secret. The one in X2 where there's a bat and a ladder,
Yeah.
and you have to figure out what's going on with the bat and the ladder, is like they give you enough of a clue that you know something is there, but most people that play the game are going to try to get to it and fail and just go on with the game.
Yeah.
And then like after that, there's the super hard platforming sections where you have to use the air dash and then the charge speed burner and avoid the spikes.
Yeah.
Like, that is, to me, how to hide a secret, whereas the one in X1 is how not to hide a secret. Like, if people were just given X2 with no further explanation, they would find the Shoryuken. If people were given X1 with no further explanation, they would either not find the Hadouken at all,
Yeah.
or they would think it was completely random.
Yeah.
There's no like.
There's
rhyme or
nothing
reason.
that explains how you actually get it.
Mm.
So the secret design that I did for the prototype and that I would do for the rest of the game is the X2 version, where there are things that you notice. I mean, it's the same as Super Metroid, right? You notice that there is this part of the map over here that you can't get to, or that this wall looks different, or whatever. Like, you show the player that there is something, but it is up to the player to figure out how to do it, rather than not showing the player that there's anything. Like, those things bother me. Or like the one in X3 is actually kind of the,
Want to take it to Zero Saber?
yeah, to get, no, not the Z-Saber. The Z-Saber people would actually find,
Okay.
because that's the only door in the game that Zero can go through.
Right.
Someone's gonna find that at some point.
What's
The gold chip, the full upgrade chip, which is in the I think it's the second, no, it might be the third. I think it's the third Doppler stage. Sorry, maybe it's the first one. I'd have to play the game again, which is sad because it's one of my favorite games. No, it's totally the first one. If you pass a certain point, with full health, so that it loads the appropriate assets, because it determines what it looks at your health when it's going to load those assets. So like up here above the ceiling, if you have full health, then when you fall down, if you jump down a very specific pit that doesn't kill you, because all the rest of the pits in the game kill you, if you jump down a very specific pit and like slide down the side, then you can go in and there's a little alcove and you get the full upgrade chip. Like that's much more acceptable than the Hadoken, except I wouldn't do the full health part. I would just have the camera be locked at the top until you're like off the bottom of the screen or something, because like that's still discoverable by the player, and someone is accidentally going to fall down that pit and notice that there was a lot more of it than there is of the other pits.
Oh, that reminds me. Like Dracula X had a lot of secrets like that. Castlevania X, where like pits that you would think would kill you actually took you to different like shortcuts. To
Yeah,
different
they did that
levels.
a lot in the Game Boy Castlevania too. Like that, I don't like that as a design thing, because you've taught the player early on that they shouldn't do a thing, and then you reward them for doing the thing later on after they learn not to do it. Like
It's like a
instead, you
bad
should teach them to do a thing and reward them for cleverly doing that thing later on, right? Like
always hitting walls. And
yeah,
hooks with
or
a
like
small chicken.
like a Mega Man example would be, okay, so if pits had spikes that damaged you instead of like spikes that killed you at the bottom, then you would learn early on not to fall down pits. You still wouldn't fall down them, but you wouldn't be totally scared of them because they're going to kill you.
Right.
I mean, it would fundamentally change the design of Mega Man, so I don't think that that's actually a thing that they would do for that game. But like, if the pits didn't straight up kill you, but put you in a situation where you really needed to work hard to get out, you would still try to avoid falling down them as much as possible. But at that point, it's a lot more acceptable to put a secret in the pit later on in the game, because you haven't specifically told the player never ever ever do this. It is the worst thing you could do, right? So yeah, I guess that, I mean, Render's here, he's making food or something.
I wonder what the mindset of the old designers were when they make things like that.
Oh, the mindset of that is like, where can we put a thing that no one's gonna find it?
Wasn't
Right.
Mega Man X made in like 6 weeks or something really absurd?
What?
They were like all locked in a closet, or like one room.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't think it was 6 weeks. That's way.
On the official OST or something, there's like designer notes.
Oh yeah,
They said
that I saw.
They, like, they
Yes.
locked them in a room and they had to just finish it.
Wow,
Before the weekend, or not weekend, for the holidays.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, they did a decent job.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job.
There are ways to do the secret in the death pit thing that are more like nicer to people, like the way that Super Metroid does charge beam, right? No one ever misses charge beam, partially because they let the camera move down in that area, which they normally don't do. So if you're gonna do like, there's a secret in this death pit, you can do things like subtly angle the top side so that they're not super square, so that people notice that it looks different without actually being able to figure out why, or let the camera move down by like 4 or 5 pixels, which is enough that people will wonder why they had some sort of feeling about that area.
Do you think secrets like that are the difference between having people test play it versus just you implementing it and thinking it's cool? Because like one of them is very much obtuse and thinking, oh, everyone's going to find this just because you yourself think that specific way. Whereas when you have people consecutively replay it and try it.
Well, first of all, I don't know that the approach for any of the secrets was ever, oh, everyone's going to find this. Like, I mean, the Hadoken is totally not everyone's going to find this. Like, that's on purpose, not that.
Yeah,
And
that's
the one
a
in
designer secret.
the one in X2 is totally everyone's going to find this eventually. Like, you can somewhat tell what their approach was just by how the secret was designed. I do think that test play helps you determine things like, is this too hard, or not enough people going to figure this out? Do we need to offer more context clues? But like, the intent is not what makes the major difference. Or sorry, the intent is what makes the major difference. Like, if you want a secret to be something that no one is ever going to find,
Yeah, it's really
then it's really easy to do that, right? You just don't tell anyone about a thing, and you make like this part important, and then this part important, and then this part important, and then it happens. Like, a good example of that is the unfortunately data mined the Lost from Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
What was it?
So the Lost is a secret character, and unfortunately, the designer, I think the creator of the game, decided to make an achievement related to them, which clued everybody into their existence, and B, meant that if you wanted 100% the game, you needed to find this thing. Like, that was basically their one huge mistake. So the way that you get the Lost is by dying in specific places with specific characters in a specific order. So like you get 3/4 of the way through the game and you die with one character, and then you get halfway through the game and you die to another enemy with another character in a specific order. And if you do all of that in the correct specific order, then it will give you this character to play. That's an example of like, I'm going to make this secret that no one is ever going to find. Right? And it was found pretty fast because people data mined for it, because there was an achievement that was related to it. Like, anyway, as you can tell, I didn't play Binding of Isaac for a super long period of time, so I probably got a lot of that wrong. I'm sorry. Top-down Zelda-type games are really not my thing. Binding of Isaac was pretty great from what I played, but that type of game really isn't my thing. But yeah, like, you can make secrets that no one will ever find. I mean, the Mortal Kombat creators claim that there are secrets in Mortal Kombat that no one will ever find.
The first
But
one?
yeah, or that haven't been found yet. I mean, I don't know how much of that is just hype or whatever. But the thing is, making those secrets is A, not challenging for the designer. You just make a bunch of unrelated things actually related and then don't tell anyone.
Right.
And B, not fun for the player at all.
I remember for Mega Man 9, they said forever that there's a secret that people didn't find, and like half the community just thinks it's like some BS that PR is running, so people keep playing the game again. And I still wonder, like, is there a secret? I wonder. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Do we know anyone into Crate when we ask them?
like, am I going to do things to prevent data mining? I mean, I did some things to prevent data mining in the prototype. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I did some.
He installed little dwarves that lock the caves at night, the data caves.
Oh God,
So
John,
they
that was
can't monitor
terrible.
it. Yes.
Hey, so why don't you get the monitor and bring it over here?
Okay.
And then we can play stuff.
Sure.
How's your car?
Oh, it is $500 worth.
Wow.
So that's me, not the car.
But you have 4 new tires, right?
Yes.
How old
Yes.
were your tires? Did they do the penny test?
The tires that I had already had in the tread, the little well of the tread.
Yeah.
Had little markers.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So once it was getting close to them, but 3 out of 4, not every single tire, but 3 out of 4 tires had nails of them. One of them had 3. One of them had
God.
2, with one of them in the like the sidewall.
Wow.
Oh.
What did you do?
I just drove
Did you
in
piss
LA
off a
every day.
construction site?
No, I just fucking drive on 5 all the time.
Also, wow, you were driving around with nails in your tires?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes the way that the nails stick.
Right, they seal the hole and they
Yeah.
make it a slow leak, but still, like, that sucks.
The past week or so, I've been like, can I make it?
Yeah, yeah.
Driving in LA is fun, guys. It's not.
Driving in LA is constantly complained about by everybody that lives in LA.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm so sorry. I talked about that for a long time. Do people have other questions? I mean, like, I've explained pretty much my views on like how to do sequence breaks that are intentional but are not super obvious, and like how I would like to make secrets and all this other stuff. Are there other questions that I guess don't have to do with the plot? Oh yeah, and I know we have been told by a lot of people that we should talk more about the plot. We are going to talk more about the plot. I am not going to talk more about the plot because I'm going to get it wrong and people would be mad.
Also,
Also,
I was gonna say something, but nah.
what? Well, now I want to know. That's not fair.
I mean,
Oh, it's perfectly fair. You gotta learn to live with disappointment.
it's just that.
I do know to live with disappointment. I work with you.
Oh, damn it. I felt that coming. I felt
Yeah,
that in
you
my
knew that
bones.
was. I know you knew that was coming.